This is Michael Raso for the Film Photography Project, and today I'm going to be talking about basic editing, whether you're shooting 8mm, Super 8, or 16mm. I'm going to give some very fast tips for you to take your scans, your movie scans, and do a quick edit. Many times you'll receive your scans and you'll look at it and you'll be very excited about it, but after looking at it, you may want to cut it down a bit. You may want to condense it. You may want to add music. You may want to add some sound effects. There are many easy software programs, many of them already built into your computer or your tablet. I personally use Final Cut 10. It was a recommendation of a friend. I've been using it the last 6 years, and I'm thrilled with it. It really gets the job done. But there's also iMovie. There's also Adobe Premiere. There's also DaVinci Resolve. Some of these software programs are free. And we're talking about really basics here. Some of the info I talk about here, you'll have to go and do some research on your own to get started. On how to use an editing program, there are so many videos, great videos on YouTube. So let's get started. So I shot this film on 16mm in my Bolex, and this is what I received from the Film Photography Project, which is a full scan, meaning it includes sprockets and your entire frame. And the Film Photography Project offers this service because they want to give you, the filmmaker, the option to crop it in any way you see fit. So the first thing that I do when I bring my film into an edit program is I decide how I'm going to crop it. So for this particular video, I'm going to go in, and these features are available in just about every edit program. They're just in a different place. So I'm going to go in, and the first thing I'm going to do is crop my frame to just where the edges are. And I'm going to be cropping out, I'm going to crop out the sprocket holes. Okay, so there's my picture. Now I'm going to put the guides on. Okay, so these are these yellow lines. This is your guides that are showing you safety. If you ever watch a YouTube video and you see some text and it's like you can't read it because it's off the screen, it's because someone decided to put their text outside of the safety. So I'm now going to take my picture and I'm going to blow it up just a little bit. Terrific. You also have the option of, because I'm working 16:9 HD, you also have the option of blowing up your frame to fill the entire frame. In that case, you're making an editorial decision and you're doing some cropping, which is perfectly fine. There's no really wrong or right answer. It's whatever you're trying to get accomplished with your project and whatever makes you happy. So let's go back to where I was, about there. So now I got the cropping done. This particular roll was Vision 3 500T, shot outside at dusk. So the first thing I would do with my reel is I would cut it down. I'm going to make some cuts. And I'm not going to step through every single cut that I make, but every single editing program has a way for you to cut your film. So once I make all of my cuts, the next thing I was going to do was to put some music and sound effects on my film. And there are some options in your actual edit program. And I've talked to people who use these programs and they didn't even realize that these things existed. In Final Cut, if you go up here, there's a little music icon. You could click that. There's a whole palette of sound effects in Final Cut 10. There's a search feature. So in my film, there's a scene where there's someone on a boat on the lake. I'm going to see if that exists. Boat. Boat pass. Terrific. So right here in my edit program, I have a sound effect that I could use. I'm going to drag that onto the timeline. So I'll do some tweaking with that. I have found that sound is almost as important as the picture. And I love doing sound designs, and folks who watch this YouTube channel will know that sometimes I kind of actually overdo it. It's all in great fun, and I really do it for fun. So the next thing I'll be looking for the whole length of my film is atmosphere. When I look in the sound effects palette in Final Cut and I don't see what I'm looking for, I then resort to secondary sources. And I want to share some of those with you folks of some options for sound effects. A go-to for me is the BBC sound effects. Just search in Google BBC sound effects. I'm going to search lake. And this is perfect. I found an effect at the BBC Sound Library. I'm going to download that sound. I will take the MP3. When you download, a license agreement comes up. Basically, if you're editing for personal use, even putting on YouTube, you can use this sound effect. Some other options. If you are a YouTube member, you could go to your YouTube channel, click Manage Videos, and then on the left-hand side, there is a section called Audio Library. You could click that, and you could find lots of free music, sound effects to use. Some other options. The musician Moby. Moby has a website called Moby Gratis. It's free music for independent filmmakers by Moby. Moby does say right in his video, he's like, hey, some of my music, you could use any of it. Some of it has been released. It is possible, if you're a YouTube user, you know if you use copyrighted music, you'll get flagged. So Moby says right up front, hey, if you use my music, you might get flagged, which means you will not be able to monetize your video. That's a whole nother story. If you don't care about that, if it's for friends and family, if your videos are not monetized, then go for it. Then, of course, you can go homegrown. So I know a fellow podcaster named Mike Gutterman, and Mike has set up his own Bandcamp page, and it's called Music for Productions. And he has a variety of different background and guitar and organ and various background music for your productions. So you could search that by just searching Mike Gutterman Bandcamp, and the site will come up. The music is free, but of course you can always drop a few dollars to any independent musician who has music available. So going back to the project, going to import the sound effects, and I'm going to lay this in underneath my video. And as you can see, it makes a world of difference. So that's really it for this video. I just wanted to show you that if you're shooting movies on film, when you get your scans back, that with very little effort, once you decide what software program you're using, you look at your film, whatever it is you shot, you can give that film a mood. If you're recording and it's like a family function or a family dinner, you could even record sound on your phone. It won't sync up, but it may give you the actual ambiance of what that day was. Please do leave some feedback, some comments down below. You could send me an email, michael@filmphotographyproject.com. I would like to mention that the Film Photography Project in our store, the filmphotographystore.com, we have a full line of movie film in 8mm film, Super 8 film, and 16mm film, and lots of film. And we've brought back some defunct formats so that you could use vintage cameras like double perforated 16mm or double 8 film. FPP also offers developing scan services. So please do leave some feedback. Love to hear from you. I hope you're going to maybe shoot a movie on film this summer. You can hear me on the Film Photography Podcast every month, the 15th of every month. You can grab that on any podcast service. Till next time, keep on shooting. And here is the finished edited piece to close this out.